Hello, third grade. I am here to talk a little bit more about reptiles, and then we're going to compare amphibians and reptiles. On our last video, we talked about the reptiles, and I even told you my Hilton Head story about the gator in the water that they pulled out. But just a quick review, some examples of some reptiles. Here we have a tortoise, and a crocodile. Never smile at a crocodile. And an alligator, or two in that case. Turtles, and I mentioned that in the last video, they like to get up on those logs and sun themselves and get warm because they're poikilothermic, remember, cold-blooded. And this is a lizard. Snake. All right, so let's look at this short little paragraph up at the top here, talking about the life cycle of a reptile. Now, most reptiles lay eggs on land, different from our amphibian friends who like to lay their eggs in the water. Reptiles like to lay their eggs on land. It says the eggs of most reptiles have soft and flexible shells. When the eggs hatch, the young reptiles emerge. Young reptiles look like miniature versions of their parents. Okay, highlight that last sentence if you're highlighting with me. Young reptiles look like miniature versions of their parents. Different from our amphibian friends, right? They went through a metamorphosis. They did not look the same. Now, that's different with the reptiles. When their babies hatch and come out of the eggs, they look like their parents. Like a baby snake looks like an adult snake, or a baby crocodile looks like an adult crocodile. So they don't go through that metamorphosis like the amphibians do. All right, so comparing amphibians and reptiles. Let's see. Let's do some bullet points here. Remember, on our Venn diagram, on this side we're looking at things specific to amphibians. This side we're looking at things specific to reptiles, and then that centerpiece is what do they both have in common or the same. All right. So with amphibians, one thing specific to them, and you probably have some ideas already going through your head, is their skin is moist. Okay? Skin is moist, that's to keep them from drying out. Now we did mention that the toads were kind of dry already, but most amphibians have skin that is moist. All right? We know that reptiles, we'll kind of maybe go back and forth here. We know that reptile skin is scaly and dry. Their skin is scaly and dry. All right, something else specific to amphibians. We just said it, we just talked about it. Lay eggs in water. And we know that reptiles lay eggs on land. Notice how if we get one over here, we can kind of figure out what needs to go on the other side. We know that amphibians prefer cool temperatures. And we know that reptiles prefer warm temperatures. Neither one really like it too hot or too cold. With amphibians, the young or their babies look different from adults. And we just talked about it up here. Reptiles, their young look like miniature adults. Okay, those are things that are distinct or special to each of those. Now, let's think about what do they have in common. Okay, one of the things that they have in common is their poikilothermic. And I have to look at the spelling on this one. And we know simply that means they're cold-blooded. They're cold-blooded. We know that both amphibians and reptiles are vertebrates. We know that most of them, not all, I know, are carnivores. And we know that both of them continue to grow throughout their life. They grow larger. So, these are some things that they have in common, some things that are specific to them. So, I hope you enjoyed talking through reptiles and amphibians together. Bye, boys and girls.